Hello and welcome back to the letter. I've been here for a fucking hour trying to get this QT done correctly. It is so fucking impossible for me. And I thought we would do the rule of 3. No, I'm not sure how many you're supposed to do this because I went up to 5. And I still had to keep pressing the buttons. So, I just fucking, for once, skipped the QT. Because fuck, this is the hardest QT I've ever done. Because the fact that you're timed in 2 ways with the ghost catching up to you, and you have to react to the buttons and the time keeps going, it doesn't reset. So that's irritating as hell. And I like what Ash says here. As this divine power, being tab button, has heard me swearing up a storm, which I have. In my head, the door is closed just as the thing looms near. Because fuck this QT. Holy shit. Soon the elevator, the blasted thing is headed up. Isabel's knees buckle in relief. 2 ticks, she's hanging herself without any care for the mess of papers folders she has dropped the floor in her panic. Draws in one ragged breath after another, each one brimming with another but relief. This is most I've been tired my whole damn life. Not during training. My superior first asked me to drop 100, not after a stakeout. After smashing a fucking elevator button repeatedly. I have fucking smashed all my keyboard buttons. Nothing fucking worked for I have no clue how many times I can fucking trying. So I'm to the ground beside her. Worn out, but I don't let myself feel relief again. Not until we're out of here. Isabel seems to be the same mind as she looks to me. Still, I find myself sharing shaky laugh with her.
We're okay. We're fine.
Yep, thanks to the great old tab button.
Yeah, we're good. Fuck, we should have taken the goddamn stairs.
Why have I seen it? Thrice. If I include the party, unless I'm tripping balls without realizing it, there's no doubt in my mind that this is actually happening. I don't want to believe it. But with the truth staring at me in the face, it'll be stupidity to deny the reality of the matter. Now he believes it, though. Now he believes it. That there is a fucking ghost now. Let me see the stupid image of my frustration. Okay. I really hate that QT. You don't have enough fucking time. So as soon as the lift hits the ground floor, we hit hightail out of the building. Seb's sound asleep when we passed by his station. However, in the face of what we've seen, the thing I face tonight, really can't care less. Will still see us on our way out. The sooner we get away from this place, the farther the better. I'm just not sure if that also means being safe. She almost got us. Damn it. I mean, she got me. I have no clue how many fucking times. The fucking thing almost had us. Shit. It was only by luck that we managed to get the fucking elevator unstuck. Thanks to tabbing. Had the blasted thing not worked in the last second, I need some air. Fresh, breathable air that doesn't stink like death and gore all at once. I'm panicking, Christ, losing focus. With another person here, I can't afford that right now. Spell hasn't said anything. I know she's more shaken than I am. I can't lose it when another person's depending on me.
Remember your training, Frey.
Another deep breath, and soon I'm starting engines and driving us off. After that little incident, somewhere open would be good. Some place I won't get trapped. We're back here again. Oh, I hope the ghost doesn't come back again. Summer Park brings a welcome relief, though only by some. The chill that has seeped in my bones is still there, flailing and unfurling underneath my skin. If I don't move, if I don't busy myself with anything soon, my brain will go haywire. It's the last thing I want to happen when there are plenty of things to do. But this array answers all of it, doesn't it? Those deaths? So how many copies of the letter are out there? Isabel can't have the only one if if other people are also getting cursed. Could it be that the one she has shown us is just one of 5? Maybe even more. That whole past this to 5 people busyness is ridiculous. At this point, is it still? All in all, we found 21 people who might have read the letter. Some of them ceased, 8 if we count Cooper. That's only with what we can find right now. We have no idea how the contractors and specialists hired from outside the company are doing. If we are in any way affected. How many more people are suffering? How many are missing? How many are dead? As I'm still trying to catch my breath, you can't tell. Can I still even blame the Wrights for this? If anything, they might be in danger as well. I don't think I could wish a curse upon anyone, no matter how big of a douchebag Luke Wright is. There's also that woman. How do we get out of this mess? How do we get away from her? Shit, still so many things we need to look into. Yet, all my body wants to do is peace. Burn out whatever excess energy there is in me.
Ashton, I'm getting dizzy. Will you sit down?
It's the first time Isabel has said anything. She's been sitting quietly since we dropped here. Better and less distracting than watching her nerves habits. I suppose she certainly seems calm now. Too calm, in fact, for someone who just seen something terrible. I mean, she's probably a bit more used to it by now, but it's been more than a week for her already. People do get desensitized to things at some point. Someone like Isabel, who knows what's going on inside her head. Who knows what's going on inside her head, though? I mean, she's seen the ghost more times than anyone else, I believe. Then again, her story was also the longest so far. Aside mine, too many and none of them would sit still.
I'm not going crazy, am I? I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I didn't inhale anything weird. Just shit. Shit. Isabella, please tell me that wasn't...
I think I know what she's gonna say, given her face right now. What I'm not expecting when I turn to her is mirth. One that she could barely contain.
You're laughing. You're laughing. Why are you laughing?
I'm not quite sure what she sees in my face, but the second laugh suddenly bursts out from her. I'm so sorry, it's just that you should have seen the look on your face back there. What's with the audio not playing? Okay. Yeah, right, sure, I'm the one who panicked. You almost ripped my arm off. Yeah, but... Audio... What? Hold on. Maybe it's not playing right now? Okay, weird glitching out. So this isn't funny. That woman almost got us. Could have ended up dead.
I know. I'm really sorry. But this is just too precious to miss. You really lost your shit for a moment there.
You're trying to get back at me, aren't you?
Well, I'm not the one who kept calling someone scaredy cat for years. How does it feel?
I'm not scared.
Really? Because it doesn't seem that way to me. At all.
I'm not, alright? I'm just... I just don't know what to do right now.
Immediately after, the moment passes, replaced by another tense silence. Laughter dies in her lips as everything sinks in. We're in deep shit, and it has finally caught up and hit us like a ton of bricks. It hit me more than anyone, because has been warning us this since day one, and I'm the first person to brush it off. Despite that, she still reaches out to me, tugging at my sleeve almost desperately. Her hands are trembling, and there is a tremor in her voice when she speaks. Without the cheer, only fear remains. One that she has been burdened with from the beginning.
We're still going to do something about it, right?
I hope so.
Not just stand around and let that thing get us.
Expectedly, she leans her forehead against my arm. Her grip on my sleeve tightens. There's desperation there, quite plea.
I don't want to lose anyone. on anymore, Ash.
I wish I could give her that promise. But with so many unknowns, so many things I don't understand about this, how could I? Why, she still trusts that I could do something about this baffles me. It all feels wholly undeserved, considering the way I treated her. Yet despite my reluctance, I find myself returning her hold in kind. Perhaps warm and light enough for comfort. Not a promise, but the closest thing to it. Whoa! Whoa, what is happening? This isn't the usual transition. Darkness blurs the edge of my vision. Black tendrils twist and crawl around my limbs. Soft footfalls echoes from the far distance, scurrying, scampering, moving in an odd rhythm with the sharp, piercing notes of her laughter. I have a feeling either we're somehow playing as Zack again, or we're playing as Marianne? Or somehow we're still at and something just happened. The scream threatens to burst, but my throat closes off. Ever so slowly, chill seeps into every nerve in my body, washing away every sensation in me, apart from one. There's only fear. Once again, her laughter echoes, sound both bitter and forgiving. It's the last thing I hear before she reaches for me. The ground trembles. The world slows to stop. Huh? Morning breaks on a blurry mess of vivid shapes and colors. Only there's no feeling of terror or confusion gripping me, despite the vague images that has driven me from sleep. Awareness kicks in shortly, though slow and sluggish. I blink away the last remnants of unconsciousness from my eyes. So did Ash just sleep over at Isabel's place then? It's that early morning, light array streams from the open windows. When the memory sets in and the room finally comes into focus. Isabel's apartment. Pushing myself upright, my eyes wander idly towards her phone from blah blah. She hunched over the coffee table, both her arms and under her head. She continues to rest. Then to the chaos of papers and folders we've left scattered over it. Before sleep has cleaned both of us. We've bunkered down here last night after both our nerves have calmed down. Mine, for the most part, staying together was an unspoken invitation. And anyway, I'm pretty sure neither of us wants to remain alone. And there's that woman. Is she still one in the first place? One that we'd normally call a human? Still feel guilty? Does it understand pain?
Fuck. I'd rather get charged for breaking and entering than mess with whatever that thing was any day.
Not that thinking about this still matters. When all our lives are in her hands. It's dangerous. If we don't do anything about her and this curse, we'll definitely be pushing Daisy soon. Can't let that happen. I've dallied on this long enough. Left all my friends in harm's way after the warnings they've all given me. Besides, beneath the terror and the adrenaline that keeps me running, knowing what lies ahead of Isabel makes it hard not to take action. Paper sitting on the edge of the table calls my attention. And this light against my hand when I reach for it. It's caught my eye the night before. But with the lot we still need to go through, I've simply ignored it. The logo embezzled at the top of the page, however, provides this paper a whole new meaning. Not for me, but definitely for her.
A scholarship grant, huh?
I've only heard her talk about this once or twice. Completing her degree, that is. She rarely goes about it in great deal, preferring to keep it to herself. Perhaps it's the fact that she thinks she's already too old to be chasing after it. It's been 5 years after all, but I've caught up enough snippets of conversation between her and Zack to know she has never given up on it. Despite how things have panned out with her father, she's one step closer to this part of her life. As silly as this may sound coming from a friend, I'd like to give her the chance to have this. Whether this means stepping out of my comfort zone and figuring to deal with this curse is, I'll do so. Only to see that same smile on her from that time again. These days, the only moments she seems to show is when she's asleep. Right now, no matter how uncomfortable she appears, smile of my own form despite this, I glance at her sleeping form again. She hasn't moved since her shoulders rising and falling in a slow, even rhythm with her breathing. I don't think she has any problems this way.
If only that were true.
Sighing, I place the paper back where I've gotten, carefully so I won't accidentally wrinkle or damage it in some way. I finally push myself off my makeshift bed. Isabel shifts and I carry her off from the floor and over to her bed, but doesn't wake, simply tucks herself comfortably under the covers as I pull over her. Briefly though, she mumbles something to herself and draws in another deep breath.
Becca, Ashton's being dumb again.
She drifts back to a deeper state of sleep after, like it hasn't been interrupted by slightest movement earlier. Small smile on her lips for me. As I find myself returning in kind.
Who sleeps like a rock now?
Better this way, better to leave her to her dreams. For the moment, which I hope are better than the ones I've had. She'll have to worry about our problems later when she wakes up. For now, this will be another thing I don't want to take away from her. A moment of respite, no matter how fleeting. She deserves it. After everything she has been put through, I put her through. Meantime, still I have 2 other people I need to check with. Isabel will definitely get in a tizzy if I don't check on them. Cold Luxembourg air meets me upon stepping out the hallway. Not unusual in itself, this is what Luxembourg's weather is supposed to be. Bit cold, damp for the most part, and more often than not, whoops. Bit cold, turbo travel with an occasional sprinkling of rain every few hours. The sky's still clear. I'll give it a day or two before the weather takes a turn for the worse. I've complained about the awful rains for years, despite having lived here my entire life. I have to admit, though, seeing it return to the usual feels extremely reassuring. At least something's still normal in the world, and I can no longer think staying for the situation we're in. A nightmare, that's probably all this is. Usually I'll say, I've been through worse, but that's simply another lie I often told myself, isn't it? And I've fed myself a great deal of lies, years just so I won't have to think about it the next day. Maybe we won't have the problem if I haven't been running away and ignoring things, hiding them someplace no one will see, because I've since believed doing so is a show of weakness. Zach's probably right. Perhaps I've always been afraid there's some damn truth to what Isabel's been saying, knowing I have no clue how to deal with. Because we scolded him for that, Zach. And now, after his stared at me right in the face, I'm at a loss. Scared shitless, in fact.
What the fuck do I know about ghosts, though?
What does Rebecca... The man has shown me photographs mention weird things happening around him the past few days. Bottom line, he likely knows as much about this as I do. Why else would he approach me? The guy who knows stuff. According to him, in the end all I've done is give him the brush off. Some reliable guy I am. Hell, Rebecca's probably in the same boat, grasping for anything that might provide an answer, a way out of this. What can any of us do when all of us lacks any understanding of what's happening? One thing's clear about this, however, that thing is after us because it's that letter. Both Rebecca and Zach have seen it. 2, she will go after them as well. Yet here I am, walking up Becca's door. Only slow step at a time. A stalling tactic to allow myself some time to put the mess in my head in a better order. How to phrase this when there's a 90% chance she's still pissed about a whole different matter. It's the only reason we didn't check on her last night, aside from the ungodly hour Isabel and I arrived. We'll only alarm her by showing up in her home in the middle of the night, acting like babbling lunatics. Her anger can last quite a while. These days it seems that the only one she can easily forgive is Isabel. But even with her, Becca's fuming still takes hours. I run my hand through my hair, straighten out my jacket before knocking. Once, twice, and 3 times, just to be sure she has heard me, even if she is asleep. She's usually awake by now, though.
Hey, Becca, it's Ash. Open up. Don't tell me you're still in bed.
Seconds tick by. I answer from her and dread a stir to creep up. I've been trained to handle dire situations, but the feeling has been doing that quite frequently since last night. I begin to anticipate the worst, and the next minute concern has mixed in my thoughts. I bang my fist on the door louder this time. She'll definitely be livid, but I'd rather face her wrath than a dead body.
Becca, it's Ash. There's something we need to talk about right away. Open up, I know you're...
Your girlfriend left early this morning, pretty boy.
What?
So if you could do us a bloody favor and shut up, that'd be real fucking polite.
I hope that's just the neighbor. Man pauses short, off landing another heavy knock. The other unit, Rebecca's other neighbor, peeks in through his door, though I see nothing but bundled blankets. I'll say they need help from being devoured by their sheets. It sounds like he's just fine. He's a huge asshole too, of course, of action, so people like him won't ruin your day. Act like the nicest person on the planet. Has done me wonders when I was a rookie patrolling the streets. I need to match his temper.
Oh, did she say where she was going?
I don't know. She said something about meeting someone or something, in case Filipina girl over there asks.
Okay. I feel like everyone seems to know these two.
Well, what am I, her keeper? You know some people want to sleep in on a bloody Sunday, so keep it down. Just looking forward to this weekend. Thanks, you damn git.
Well, there's no need to be an ass about it. I'll get out of your...
Okay. Asshole. He slams his door shut without warning, but not before muttering a string of very colorful words about me. Probably things I won't hear him inside the 4 walls of his apartment.
Jerk.
At the end of it, a sigh. So Rebecca's not here. Must have missed her by an hour or so. But at least she's not alone. Should be safe, in theory. More so if the person she's meeting with is what I'm thinking. Nevertheless, I still can't help but worry. It's an easy thing continuing down increasingly darker lines as thought. To act brashly, to find out where she is and go straight there without deliberating on my actions first. There's Zach to boot. Rebecca's not alone, but I can't say the same for the big guy. Small phone calls to the both of them should do the trick. At least my nerves, at any rate. It's better than rushing over to Zach's place or assuming Rebecca's whereabouts, finding out where they're not where I've guessed they should be. Assuming the worst will come next, which I rather avoid this early. Any other reason I won't bother them, but emergency begs for urgency. This is one, right? Even if it is anxiety from concern and dull judgment, something I most certainly can't afford to lose at any given time, especially right now. It means the comet will do wonders for the muddled mess my mind is already in. Abigail? I don't know who that is. Yeah, just some random name. Okay. Flick my thumb through the screen until it ends up on a group with only Zach's, Rebecca, and Isabel's numbers listed. Other people will probably say I keep too few friends when they chance on this. To some extent, it's true. I can easily name about 100 people I've been acquainted with, though, through the years. Colleagues, blockmates from uni, neighbors, those sort of people. They all come and go. But these three have chosen to stay for some reason, without wanting or asking for anything. Like the others, none has Zach's kindness, Rebecca's patience, nor the sincerity in Isabel's eyes. One day these guys are just there, and the next I know, being with them eases it. That heavy, somber feeling lingering in the air when you stand alone in your apartment, or something as simple as spending your day off without anyone. I'll say it's loneliness, but this carries much more depth than that. If I could help it, I don't want to lose any of them to some stupid curse. One call may be the least comforting thing at the moment. I'll say I prefer being in the same room with them right now, but I'll take what I can and get. Becca first. She'll get angry at me for worrying about her. She isn't some helpless damsel in distress. After all, she isn't the shitty... Whoops. I'm maybe reading this wrong. She isn't the shy little girl. Not the other thing. I know when we were children, we were away far from the people we were back then. That's more than enough reason to check in on her. I don't have to imagine her taking anything head on. She'll do it instead of asking for help when she needs it. I don't care if she gets mad at me, if only to know that she's fine. Ringing in the silence of the hallway, it sounds alone might as well be sharp enough to pierce through my ears. Another second passes. 2, 3, but when on the 9th ring, it goes straight to her voicemail. A cold feeling instantly lodges in my stomach.
Rebecca Gales here. You've reached my voicemail. Sorry if I can't get to you right now. Oh, and if this is Isabella, yes, you're free to reheat the food in my fridge. Otherwise, leave a message.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling I've heard this, her voicemail. I'm pretty sure we've heard it before. Probably just busy, that's all, though I still barely manage to keep my voice even when I speak.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
Becca will be alright. Is alright. She's safe. She's with someone else. In the event that woman shows up, she'll have someone with her. Someone she'll be able to ask for help. She's safe. She can handle herself. Becca might have a fiery temper, but she knows when she's faced with something she can't handle herself. Becca will see my missed call and she'll call me back. Though I don't expect enough. Becca is someone I consider important to me. God, gee, they're so different when they were younger. Becca looks super nerdy. I would not expect that's how she looked back then. She's been my friend for the longest. Anyone else would have been fed up with me and left. The girl stuck by me, no matter how big of a jerk I've been. There's Zach and Isabel now, too. Of course, I'll be thankful for having them around. Worst times before, however, Becca was there. No one believes it when I say it, but I've surely had my awful moments as a bratty kid and as a horrible teen. Issues I've too many of them to count and refuse to deal with for a time. At least that's what Andrew likes to tell me. Who's Andrew? I tend to think nothing of it. It has mellowed down over the years thanks to Professor mostly. Oh yeah, Professor Andrew. I think. I'm pretty sure that was his name. At times, I do wonder if it still burns me the way it did all those years ago. After all, I was terrible, especially around the time of my parents' separation. Looking back at it now, I had no reason to direct all my frustration towards everyone else. Well, I wasn't a kid who lashed out at anyone, preferring to keep it to myself and turning those negative feelings into more productive things. Grown distant from a lot of people because of it. My old friends back in my old school and the neighbors I've hung out with before moving. Habit I've likely brought with me into adulthood. I was just so eager with everyone and everything. All I kept thinking about was myself, wondering why me. In retrospect, I was a selfish little bastard who thought the world revolved around me. that I shouldn't have been going through it. I believe my behavior was entitled, that I had the right. Tough times, but she stuck with me, snapped me out my little sulk, as she often phrases it, whenever she sees the chance to bring it up. She didn't tolerate my bullshit, but she didn't leave me alone either. If anything, the whole thing made her stick around. Her concerns may have grown a bit overbearing as the years went by, but she's still an old friend nevertheless. I owe her a lot. That won't change.
Damn it. Where are you, Becca?
Another message left on her voicemail, then on my third call I hung up. For the time being, I can't do anything more than to wait for her to return my calls, for an endlessly won't get me anywhere. Zach, on the other hand, that guy attracts trouble no matter how much he tries to avoid it. But doesn't help how he hasn't been too hot lately with a lot of people. Mentions plans yesterday doesn't sit too well with me either. He might be the next responsible adult after Rebecca out of the four of us, but I still gotta check on this big guy. Make sure he's doing okay, at the very least, whatever he's planned on doing. All I'm asking is for it to not be idiotic. He's a sensible guy, I'm sure. However desperate clings and pushes people to do things rational or irrational, it doesn't matter. Clear thinking files out the window the moment you're in danger, and I sincerely hope he has not found himself in a tricky situation. Phone doesn't even ring before he answers, or his voicemail at least.
Hey, it's Zach. Well, a voicemail anyway. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, just leave a message, yeah? And no, Ash, you're not allowed to lockpick your way into my apartment again. Just do what any other decent human being does and call if I'm not around. Thanks.
Did he turn off? Why? I don't want to assume the worst yet. Maybe he has forgotten to charge it? Can't be. The guy can be a bit of a Boy Scout, even more than I am as a cop. He's the type who has an extra battery or a power bank in his bag if he ever needs it. And he always does. He won't say anything or brag about, but he's got quite a roster of VIP freelance clients. And I'm actually going to end the video here before we continue. Before I guess get any more gassy for whatever reason. Whew. And before this video gets any longer. So if you guys enjoyed the video, go hit the like button. And if you want to see what's going to happen in the next part, because I'm pretty sure we're near the end of Ash, unless he has a bunch of stuff that happens near the end of these days, maybe go subscribe and be notified. And be notified of anything I do in general. And if you got anything to say, so in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comrades?